Look, we are facing a deluge of these executive actions, and certainly we must be prepared for those most vulnerable to the consequences of these actions. But the "this is all fascist" argument has become almost a reflex for the left. Citizenship in America was based on where you were, not who you were. And to just stroke of a pen, finally I agree. That is authoritarian.
We do begin tonight with the federal judge blocking President Trump's executive order that would end birthright citizenship.
And we're back.
Something wild just went down on live TV Jon Stewart. Yes, that Jon Stewart just tore apart the mainstream media's entire Trump narrative, and even conservatives were left nodding in stunned agreement. Before we dig into this bombshell moment, do me a quick favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've ever watched the news and thought something's not adding up. Because what Stewart exposed wasn't just about Trump, it pulled back the curtain on a much deeper issue in how we're all being fed the news. So what exactly did he say?
This is the cycle we find ourselves in. First law of Trumpodynamics. Every action is met with a very not equal overreaction, thus throwing off our ability to know when is actually getting real. Like last week's pardons.
These pardons are sick. They are offensive. They are un-American.
This is one of the most egregious, despicable acts in American history.
This is textbook authoritarian takeover 101.
I knew I should have taken that class. And not majored in submissive liberal crying 101. Oh, do what you will, Trumpisky. Was it? Yes. Should you have let some of those terrible people? No. Is it an abuse of pardon power? I don't know. But that is his constitutional power. Again, for some reason, we have given presidents the power of a king. And then we say, oh, by the way, look at that power. We're going to give out like kingly and shit, right? To put that in constitutional terms, if I could, don't hate the player. Hate the founding fathers. That's not. Why do we even have it? Because I don't know if you've met Donald Trump. He pushed.
But let's rewind and look at one of the biggest flashpoints Trump's pushed to end birthright citizenship. The media lost it, calling it the moment he officially went full dictator. Headlines screamed, panic spread, and the outrage machine kicked into overdrive.
President Trump deploying executive action to end birthright citizenship.
This unconstitutional, un-American attack, shredding our Constitution.
To be a strongman authoritarian, birthright citizenship was very specifically tailored to send a message to people that America was a place, an idea. It wasn't for one race. It wasn't for one gender. Citizenship in America was based on where you were, not who you were. And to just stroke of a pen, finally I agree. That is authoritarian.
We do begin tonight with the federal judge blocking President Trump's executive order that would end birthright citizenship.
And we're back. See how easy that was? It was a dictatorship. It's like when you have an electric fence. You never checked it. You're not really sure if it works.
And it's not just sloppy reporting of danger. When the media treats every issue like a 5-alarm fire, people stop recognizing real emergency. Let's be honest, there's an entire underground industry built around birth tourism. Wealthy families from countries like China, Nigeria, and others fly pregnant women to the U.S. just to give birth, securing American citizenship of their child. These aren't refugees fleeing hardship. They're gaming the system, exploiting a loophole. But the media stays silent. Why? Because it complicates the narrative. And while those babies may be innocent, the long-term impact isn't. Once grown, they can sponsor their families, creating a shadow immigration pipeline that circumvents the legal process entirely. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Jon Stewart, long seen as a hero of the left, started calling this out. He's finally pointing to something painfully obvious to anyone who's been paying attention for the last few years.
Then one day, Sam. By the way, I fundamentally disagree with the use of electric fences. It is true, I prefer to discipline my dogs. a series of passive-aggressive comments about their wages. Really tearing through the bowl of the night, huh? Take a breath, Tubbs. It's called kibble, not gobble. By the way, my dog's name is Tubbs. Anyway, Birthright Citizenship is back!
No, obviously.
Constitutionally enshrined judicial review of executive action and its relief through the appellate process.
Jon Stewart is one of the rare voices of the left voters to call it out. He's not waving a MAGA flag. He's waving the flag of consistency, which now feels like a radical act.
That's become almost a reflex for the left.
Donald Trump promised to be a dictator on day one, and he's carried that forward through the entire week.
5 days into this administration, the abuse is already rampant.
Throughout the rest of the week, shredding the Constitution as he went.
On a fascism scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being peak fascism, how would you rate Trump's first week?
Sick.
Stand of Mussolini to the Holocaust. I would say it's not fascism. Do I not understand what fascism is? And also, if I may, this may be petty, why are we asking someone who at the end of January still has this Christmas tree up?
And here's the thing, if we scream fascism every time a Republican signs anything, what happens when a real authoritarian threat shows up and no one listens? We've cried wolf so often, the villagers are asleep, and that's not even the scariest part.
You know, we used to leave the Christmas tree up all the time. Good look. So, somebody in the audience literally jumped my Hitler joke. You know who used to do that, by the way? Pol Pot. Now look, I have a lot of fear that as this term goes on, things are going to get a little fascist. And we must be vigilant. But part of vigilance is discernment. Republicans control the House, the Senate, the executive, and the judiciary. And just about every move that has been made till this point, we have granted them electorally. It's our f***ing fault. And the constant jump, it's just our fault. And the constant drumbeat of encroaching fascism will erode the credibility we will need if, hopefully if, and not when, it hits. But the truth is that for now, his most objectionable actions have taken place almost entirely within our designed democratic system. Like the confirmation process, despite claims of meritocracy, Trump has put forth some of the least linked-in people you could imagine.
They've shattered trust, and once trust in the media is gone, what's left is partisan echo chambers, social media rabbit holes, and conspiracy theories, the perfect breeding ground for real threats to democracy. Speaking of double standards, let's talk about the Elon Musk smear. Bono, yes. That Bono went on Joe Rogan's podcast and casually blamed Musk for 300,000 deaths. Seriously.
Just a recent report. It's not proven, but their surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just this cut-off, this hard cut of USAID. What is that? That's not America, is it?
Well, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. For sure, it was a money laundering operation. For sure, there was no oversight. For sure, billions of dollars are missing. In fact, trillions that are unaccounted for.
Yes, you heard that right, 300,000 deaths. Suddenly, Elon Musk is a mass murderer because he cut government spending. Let's be real, Musk isn't perfect and has made plenty of controversial decisions. But accusing him of a genocide-level death without a shred of evidence that's not journalism slander. Meanwhile, China unleashes a virus that kills
what Bono said and called him a liar and an idiot. The media is accusing Musk of murdering 300,000 people with no proof. But China killed millions with the virus, and they said, it's not China's fault, it's just a pangolin. This is what they do. Call you a conspiracy theorist while they cook up hoaxes. Remember when the tariffs were going to turbocharge inflation? That was another allegation, and so far, no evidence.
Are you kidding me? They label you a conspiracy theorist while spreading baseless hoaxes themselves. So what do you think is Jon Stewart just cracking jokes? Or is he finally saying what needs to be said? Drop a comment below. I wonder your thoughts. Do you still trust the media? Do you think the left is playing fair? Or is the whole system just broken? Smash that like button. Subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this. And share this with someone who still believes the media tells the full truth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.